guys, hello everybody. Wish you a pleasant evening to all of you. And this is going to be like Mehul said, it's going to be a workshop on Python, right? So I would request Arhan to share his screen, and in a while we'll be sharing the screen and we'll be giving you the PPT, and then we'll proceed from there.
Yes. Kiran, I have started
Guys,
screen sharing.
hey, sorry for the interruption, Arhan.
Yes.
Before Arhan kickstart the session, just to let you know, guys, this particular workshop is for mechanical folks. Okay, so people who are from mechanical and related branches like mechanical, automobile, aeronautical, production, manufacturing, etc. Those folks, if you guys are attending and you are here, this is for you. It will be useful and helpful to you guys. But folks, if you are from different engineering branch or if you are from non-technical domain, then this particular session will not be useful and helpful to you guys. So my suggestion would be that you can join the workshops and webinars which we are conducting for your respective engineering domain. All right, we conduct a workshop webinars across all the engineering domains like civil, electrical, electronics, right, medical technology, and other domains. In also data science, data analytics, full stack web development, right, which a non-technical guy can also join, because there is a scope to make the career for the non-technical folks as well. But in mechanical, it's a pure mechanical field. So joining this session, if you are from non-technical background or if you are from other engineering domain like civil, electrical, electronics, embedded, right, then this will not be useful to you guys. So my suggestion would be, if you're not from mechanical and related branches, feel free to drop off and check out our website, right, and register for the workshop of your domain and your area of interest, rather than joining and investing 4 hours for the workshop, which is not going to useful, which is not going to be of any use to you guys. Okay, but if you're from mechanical, electrical, mechanical and related branches, it is for you. So a couple of guys asked this question, so thought of covering this before we kickstart, because it's a matter of 4 hours. So choose wisely. Okay, yeah, Kiran and Aran, it's all yours. Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks,
thanks for
Mehul.
that, Mehul. So guys, just to welcome all. I mean, I would like to welcome you all to the Python fundamentals workshop. And you might ask why this workshop would be important for you, because I think this would be important if you're trying to understand what programming is in with respect to Python. All right. So this is a again, you might ask why Python. Python is a very versatile language where it is widely used in the industry, like across industries, not restricted to any particular domain. This is because this is an open source programming language, and it has been developed again and again, like over the years. And a lot of people from the web development team to in academia also use Python on in their day-to-day lives. And you might also know that the whole data science and machine learning, whoever is learning machine learning and data science, they're also using Python for various reasons, because Python has this advantage of having libraries, relevant libraries for performing certain operations. And uh, like pandas, scipy, and other libraries are extensively used for this machine learning individuals who are professionals who are doing machine learning. And through this workshop, we would be covering some core concepts of programming, including data types, what a variable is, and what are operators. And we'll also touch upon how the control flow works in Python. All right. And again, there we'll also touch upon this important programming concept of functions. Uh, so more on this in the coming slides. All right. And so you might ask, why Python, and why we should learn Python. So it is, like I said, it is highly versatile. Versatile as in a lot of industry professionals have used it. And you might see from the statistical comparison on the right side, right? Year on year, Python number of the demand for the number of people who are good at Python is constantly increasing, because, like I said, it's a free software, and it's a community built software, unlike many other commercial languages. All right. So people like you and me, we can start. Okay, so people like you and me, we can start. You can make your own libraries and use it accordingly in your own industry. All right, and that is what is about the community support and job opportunities. Obviously, I also touched upon that, and for the, like, in recent past, there is a Arhan, let us be on the same. Yeah. Okay. So in recent past, there has been, like, we've observed a high demand for professionals who know Python. This is again because it's free, and all the other advantages. And there's also a large community. There is also this Python community is very large, like online support portals like Stack Overflow, and other portals have an extensive, like, very active user base, where people come up with solutions to common problems faced by individuals working on their own projects, or work related, or hobby programmers. All right. And then the biggest advantage of Python is, like, this has libraries and frameworks which help professionals build specific tools in their particular domain. Okay. uh, for data analytics, like I said, Python, the Python has libraries like Pandas, TensorFlow, SciPy, and many other libraries which are extensively used for data analytics. And for web development, there are a bunch of other libraries. I would not like to touch upon that. And so if you want to touch upon the brief history, Arhan, can we move to the next one? Okay, so when you're talking about programming it in Python, it always follows the same chronological order. You always write a bunch of code, run it with some inputs, and if you see your whatever kind of result that you're expecting, you'll analyze it and see if it makes sense. If it makes sense, then you see if you need more inputs, and if you can modify the code even more. If not, you'll go back and rewrite the whole code, and this process will this is like a loop until you feel like you're getting the outputs that you want. You'll constantly update your code, and these code, you don't have to write 100-line code all at once. Good programmers usually start with small sections of code and then testing it out. Are you seeing what you wanted to see? Okay, like Python has a huge syntax, like a very wide array of functions and options within Python. So you can always, there is always place to improvise. Okay, and so until you achieve what you want, you'll keep editing it, and then checking if you need more inputs so that you can improve your results. And then this is the whole process. If you want to understand programming in chart, this is it. Okay. Yeah, next. So brief history on Python. Python is many people might be thinking Python is such a weird name for a programming language, but there is a story behind it. Uh, it all starts in 91, when Gaudiya van Rossum Gaudiya van Rossum was first made this made Python for his own use, and then later, he got inspired from, he like based on his childhood, he 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 probably loved the British comedy group. Um, okay, so people are not interested in the history, I can see. Okay, no problem. I'll just wrap this up soon. Yeah, Monty Python, a lot of you guys already know it, no problem. So yeah, a lot of people are using it. Like even in this slide, you can see like Google, one of the software giants, extensively uses Python, and it is always like the popularity always increases in Python. Okay, yeah, the next one. Yep. Okay, so their typical implementation for like a Python implement, compiler. So what is a Python interpreter? Python interpreter is a program that executes Python code. Okay, it reads in Python code and evaluates it and produces an meaningful, appropriate output. So your Python, this interpreter can only understand Python. So any other language in your Python interpreter will not work. All right. This is the basic understanding one should have. So no, let's be on the same page. So how do you open your Python interpreter? So if you're using a Windows, then you can check for command prompt, and in the search bar you can type Python and get it. Or if you're using some online IDs like Anaconda or something, then you can search for it. You should first have Anaconda on your system locally, and then you can access other IDs like online IDs like Jupyter Notebook, Spider, and many other online IDs. All right. And so once you open your Python interpreter, you can the basic, so you can start with the basic print hello world command, which will tell you if your Python is properly installed or not. If it gives you an error or error message saying that some pip is not there or something like that, then you'll have to revisit your installation process. All right. So overall, Python interpreter is an essential tool when you're working with Python. And yeah, that's about it. Next. So this is the result that I was talking about. So if you use print welcome, this print that you see here, the print that you see here is an inbuilt function in my Python. So this will take input. So whatever you see in this parenthesis, right? Parenthesis as in brackets. Everything on inside the brackets is your inputs. And within the quotation marks, you have welcome, right? That is because welcome is a string. String is a data type. We'll cover that in the coming slides, all right? And you can see that welcome is your output. If whatever you write within the parenthesis, within the quotation marks inside the parenthesis for your print, that is what will get printed. All right. And yeah, you can also print, this is a string. You can also print integers. You can also print um, a lot of things on your, for using just the print keyword. All right. Yeah. Next one. Okay. So this is what I was explaining as well. Print again refers to the inbuilt function in Python. And you can so Python 3 uses if you want to for example, if you wanted to input a particular value inside your system, like automatically, for example, when you open your phone screen, right, you can when you go into your call logs, you can type your number and then call it, right? So similarly, if you wanted to use a particular number, like an amount, like for example, let's say if you wanted to assign a value for a variable a, all right, then you can just use input keyword, just like how print prints the output for your like print function prints whatever you give it, like the input, whatever input you give, that is what it prints, right? So similarly, input takes values from the user and then saves it with a variable name. Okay, so like I said, a is equal to input, and then if you give input, then takes the input function takes user input from the user and then assigns it to a particular variable. All right, yeah, next. So when installing Python, previously in Python was widely like it was pre-installed in most of Mac systems, but nowadays we'll have to install it separately. So this installing Python on Mac is a pretty straightforward process. Just download your download the Mac distribution from the Python website, and then for particular Mac, for your particular Mac version, and then when you install it, you can just start using your Python from your Mac terminal. All right, and you can add more integrated development environments. That is what you call an IDE or idle. All right, so you can add more layers of skins over the basic Python shell. All right, so why is this important? You might ask. An IDE is very important when it comes to performing a certain kind of a task. All right. So just like now, for example, in there is a IDE called Visual Studio Code. All right. So if you're working on multiple if you're working on multiple programming languages altogether, like C++ or Python or C or JavaScript or anything. Okay, this integrated development environment will allow you to work on different programming languages on the same interface. All right, and so one of the most widely used these days is your Visual Studio Code, which is a free downloadable ID idle from Windows, Microsoft. All right, so this is and apart from this, we also have Sublime Text and PyCharm. All right, PyCharm is also pretty widely used in the industry. So you get each person will have their own preference based on which idle IDE is most versatile. All right, you can all debate on this when you start using your when you get into programming. You will have a debate on this as well one day. All right, and okay, Python. Okay, I see a question. Why
Uh,
we are not
Kiran,
using? Yeah, should we take questions here, Mehul?
Kiran, it's up to you guys how you want
Okay.
to take up the questions, like in between or at the end. It's completely. I'll let you guys decide that.
Uh,
So just to confirm, we will be helping them install the Python, right?
yeah, we can help with that, but
Yes, Mohan.
just a moment. Okay, just
Yes,
hold on.
Mohan. Kiran, let's do this.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh, we'll stop this presentation here and
Okay.
I'll show them how to install Python. So,
Yes,
till
Arhan
the
will
time,
take care of installation.
so it will take couple of minutes. So till
Yeah.
the time it gets downloaded, we can continue with the class. So what do you
Okay.
say?
Sure.
Yes.
Sure. Sure.
Uh,
Okay.
I hope all the students are sitting in front of your laptops or preferably laptops, right? So whoever is having your laptops,
Can we have a raise of hand? Like
yeah,
that would give us a nice perspective of how many guys. Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah.
it's somewhere
That's
around
yeah.
roughly 40 participants.
Sure. Sure. Yeah. Great. Okay then, Arhan, can you take this forward?
Yes, yes. I'll just install Python for them. Then we
Yes.
can continue with this PPT.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, guys. So first of all, welcome again. I'm Arhan. So just give me a couple of minutes. I'll make sure that, we install our Python software. Yes. So for those of you guys, are you all with me? Yes, no, maybe. Any one of you can unmute and speak. Are you following this? Yes,
So
no,
Arhan,
maybe.
people will
Yes.
not be able to unmute themselves.
Okay.
They can only chat with me, you,
Okay.
or Kiran.
Fine.
Okay, so people are saying yes in the chat box, so we can
Yes.
proceed. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So first, you can directly type Anaconda. So basically, this is the ID software that we'll be using. There are other softwares as well, but preferably we'll try to use this one. So here, if you see, just click on the first option. I'll repeat again. Open any one of your web browser and just type Anaconda in the Google search bar. So here you can see I've just typed out Anaconda. Okay. Click on the first link. So it comes with anaconda.com. Yes, no. Okay. And here you can click on pricing. Click on pricing, and here you will be able to see a free software, right? And here you can click on get started. Once you click on get started, on your right hand side, you can see option for download. So just click on download. So it will take a couple of minutes to get downloaded. So approximately it is like 700 MB file, if I'm not wrong. So it is somewhere around, sorry, 390 MB, 620 MB. Okay. So just click on this download and wait for a couple of minutes. Here also you can see it. I'll repeat this step again from the beginning.
Arhan,
Yes.
what we can do is directly if we share the link in the chat box, right, where
Yeah.
they will get the option to download. That will
Yes.
be
Yes.
much more easier for them to follow.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Just give me a minute. I'm sharing.
Sure.
So you can just click on this link. Everybody open your chat box and you can see that, there is one link which I have shared with all of you. Click on this link and you will be able to reach this particular page. And here you can see option for download. Just click on download and your installation will start. So once it is completed, you can let me know. We can proceed further about this. So for downloading this 620 MB, it will take approximately 5 minutes of your time based on your internet connectivity. Okay.
So guys,
Karan?
this is not just the only way to use Python. Okay, there are other methods of using Python. Like I said, PyCharm, or maybe you can download Python locally, and then you can install it, and then it's a huge hassle. Instead of that, going with Anaconda is always better. All right. Anaconda also gives you this advantage of experimenting with different IDEs. All right. You might have just Arhan, can you show me your Anaconda screen? We'll just touch upon
Yes.
this a few IDEs there. Yeah. So you guys can see here. Jupyter Notebook is the one that we will be using here, or like most widely used anyway, right? And Spider as well. Spider and Jupyter Notebook are widely used. There are other
PyCharm.
PyCharm also. You can install it locally. PyCharm is like like an installation. These you see install button, right? These things you can get offline, but this Jupyter Notebook and Spider work on your browser tab. All right. If you click on launch, it will take you to a it'll open your browser and show you the edit screen like this,
Here you can see.
somewhat like this. All right.
So
So
this is
this
your Jupyter notebook. Once you click on it, it is directly opening in your Google Chrome. So it is based on your web browser. So here you can also see there is local host. Okay, so it is actually connected through internet and it is opening through online process. Okay. Uh,
okay. Okay, so guys, if you're
anything else to touch on?
yeah, if you guys want an offline IDE, I highly recommend you to first download Python. So to download Python, can we Ran, can we quickly go to Chrome and just type Python? We'll just walk them through this. Okay. Okay, so this is how your Python web, screen looks like. All right, if you go to downloads, actually you will have different, so you can see all releases, source code, Windows, Mac OS, etc., etc. Right? So based on your OS, you can like most probably people most widely have Windows. So if you check for Windows, always go for a your newest version is like 3.10.10 here, correct? So this is the most recent one, but I recommend you go for a like a little bit like a level lower and then download 3.10.9 or something. This is because usually these newer versions may or may not come with a few bugs. Okay, this just to avoid that risk, we go for an older and stabler version. All right, so you can always go for this Windows installer 64-bit. Yeah, so I see a question, sir, is on Vinayak asks if online compiler is okay. Yeah, online compiler is definitely okay. But if students if you have preferences, if you feel like you want an offline version of your Python, then yeah, this is how you got to do it. All right. So most of the computers also have this is 64-bit. Most of these computers are 64-bit nowadays. So just click this Windows installer 64-bit and it will download a file. So Arhan, can I simply just to show them, can I just click on this? I
Yes,
think you
yes.
have, yeah. So this will quickly, um, okay, see, it is quickly downloading it. So as of now, this is Anaconda, right? Okay. So your Python will download and then after that, it's a normal installation. But after installation, you'll have to add your uh,
Libraries.
yes, and that is a whole again a big thing. Some people might get confused initially if you're new to computers and if you're naive around a computer, then doing this might seem like a huge challenge. But I would like you guys to use Anaconda or like Anaconda and then Jupyter Notebook or any other IDs. Okay, but if you got to do it, this is the way. All right, once you do it, you'll have to add environment, path to your environment variables, and then you'll have to download an IDE. So since this is a free tool, right, you don't get all the nuances of commercial software that commercial software can give. So if you for example download MATLAB or something, it is just a single download file. If you run the installation, then done. You get the GUI, you get the whole package. All right, with a bunch of toolboxes as well. All right. So in Python, you'll have to do everything on your own. Python this download will only give you the shell. All right, shell version of the Python. So this does not come with an IDE. You need to get an IDE from the internet on your own and then link these both together and then install dependencies. Okay, yeah, Visual Studio Code, you can do it, but like I said, um, Harsh asks if he can, so what do you want to know about Visual Studio Code? You can download it, but we will not be using it here. Okay, so you'll find Visual Studio Code on your Microsoft Store as well. So if you just go to your start, uh, yeah, you can use Visual Studio Code if you feel like it's a really good tool. You can go with it. All right. So can you guys tell me if you downloaded Anaconda? I think Harsh has already
Yeah.
completed Anaconda download. What about you other guys?
Guys, have you completed installation of Anaconda? Whoever has completed, you can raise your hands. Yes. So as of now, 10 people. Okay. Kiran, we can continue with this installation.
Okay. Okay. So you'll take over from here, right?
Yes, yes. I'll explain this Jupyter
Yeah.
installation for them.
Sure.
Okay. So once you have installed your, sorry, once you have downloaded your Anaconda, right? So you can click on open, just give run. So it will be looking somewhat like this. So once you go to your downloads folder, right? So it will look something like this, correct? So double click on it and it will start to ask you two options, run or cancel. Click on run. Then you can click on next, click on OK, click on next. So likewise, there are 3 to 4 windows that will open. Click on OK and click on next. I repeat. So once your download is completed, so it will look somewhat like this in your downloads folder. So you can check this file from your downloads folder, double click on it, and you can start giving a run option. Jagmohan Yadav, I can't download. Can you tell me what is the error you are getting? Jagmohan Yadav. Anybody else having this similar issue who are not able to download Anaconda? But I have other tools like PyCharm. Fine, then you can use it on PyCharm itself. No issues. Guys, once this is completed, right? Finally, it will ask you that whether installation is completed, yes or no. You can click on finish and your installation will be completed. And once your installation is completed, go to your search bar and type Anaconda Navigator. Are you able to follow this? Yes or no? Is PyCharm free to use? Yes. We don't have to change any default setting. No, you don't have to change any default settings.
There are two versions, I guess. So there is also a free version. I think it's called community version in PyCharm.
Yes. You can click on Anaconda Navigator. Just go to your search bar and type Anaconda Navigator. Is everybody able to find this Anaconda Navigator? Yes or no? Guys, any issues you are facing at this particular point of time? It is installing Harsh. Okay. Santosh, are there any problems? No. Fine. I'm also typing it in the chat box. Click on search bar. Guys, once your installation is completed, then what is the process you have to follow, that I have, written it in your chat box. So once it's updating of 2.4.0. Okay, fine. Santosh, no problem. You can proceed with that. Okay, once your installation is completed, what is the process to follow? I have written it in your chat box. Everybody can open it and just follow what I am saying. Here on your left hand side bottom, you can see there is search bar. Click on the search bar. Just type Anaconda Navigator. It will show you icon somewhat like this. Click on open. Once you click on open, this is what you will be able to see. And here you can see there are various IDs. And in this, we are going to use Jupyter Notebook. So you can just click on launch. So it will ask you where to open. You can click on Google Chrome. And finally, you will be able to get somewhat like this. So you should be able to get to this one. Is that point fine? Or do you need any time for this? Guys, can we have the status of what's happening now with the software? Is it still installing or is the installation completed? Please give 2 minutes completed. Okay, let us take 2 minutes of time. Okay, and try to install it. Jupyter is launched in Chrome. Very good, Santosh. Not following further steps. Harsh, what was the last step you followed? John, still installing. Okay, just give 2 minutes of time. It will be completed. It's launching but opening file manager on Chrome. So you should get somewhat like this. Did you click on Jupyter launch box? Jishnu Mohan Damodaran. It will say something like this, local host. If you want, I will show it once again here. Here you can see Jupyter Notebook. Click on launch. See, it will directly show somewhat like this. So this is basically your folder, all the folders which are present on your desktop, right? Here you can click on new and it will create a folder. Khyati Singh, yes. And you can rename that folder. I'll show it again for you. So once you have launched your Jupyter, it will show you somewhat like this. Click on new and here click on folder. Okay, just scroll down and you will find here you can see new untitled folder 1, which is created just few seconds ago. We want to rename this untitled folder. So click on this checkbox, which is given next to your untitled folder. Scroll up and here you can click on rename and you can give name to whatever name you wanted to give for this particular folder. Say I give demo, or if you want, you can write Python Anaconda. So here you can, generally I have given, if you see here, this is the name I have given. I have directly given it as Anaconda. because it will pop up on the top of my, file menu. So that's why I given a name starting with A. For me, Jupyter is opening in Mozilla Firefox. It is launching in Microsoft Edge. Fine, it's fine. Sir, I have idle with in my computer. Can I go with that? Yes, you can use idle also. So Herschel, it is because by default your web browser that you want to launch, it is as Microsoft Edge. So that is why it is launching in Microsoft Edge. For those of you who are having Google Chrome as a default browser, for them it will open in Google Chrome, or it will ask you an option where to launch this one. So there you can select Microsoft Edge or Mozilla Firefox or Google Chrome. Anything is fine. Everything will work properly. Do I need to create new folder? Yes, you need to create new folder because here we are having couple of examples also. It's like a hands-on practice for everyone. So I would suggest it is better to create a separate folder and keep it so that you can also save whatever examples we are teaching here, right? So it is not going to be complete, one-way session. So it is going to be interactive session. For MacBook also it is, the process is same. Kiran, am I correct?
Yeah, pretty much the same process.
Yes.
So who's using MacBook here? Can we have a raise of hands?
GSVSR Meher Chaitanya.
Okay. So I see 11 raised hands. So are you guys using Mac OS here? Okay. This should work on your systems as well. Is it working? You should give me an input on this. I'm really positive that it should work. Great,
Kathy Singh says yes, working.
great. Yeah. So it should work for others as well.
Meher, you can follow the same process. Meher Chaitanya. Okay. So you can create new folder and you can rename it. Once you have created folder, once you are done with this creating of folder, renaming, right? Then here you can click on Python 3 notebook. Click on this and it will directly open you to your home screen where you will be able to write your coding. Okay, I repeat. Once you are done with creation of new folder and renaming of the folder, you can click on new and click on Python. Okay, and it will open you home screen having somewhat like this. Everybody following with this process? Yes or no? Do you have any issues in this process? Anybody facing any issue? Yograj, any issues? How to rename? Okay. See, this is the untitled folder, right? Just click on the checkbox. Okay. Scroll up and here you will be able to find two icons. And the first icon name itself is rename. So click on this and you can change the file name. You need to click on the folder whichever you want to change the name, and here you can change it by clicking on rename. Generally it is for sorry, untitled folder is already selected. So here you can see, click on the folder and you can select rename. Once your rename is done, click on new, click on Python, and everybody should be able to get a screen like this. Yes, everybody following with this? Harshal Patakar, can you please repeat once? Which step are you talking about, Harshal? The renaming part or opening of Python? Mansha, how to register? Which one? Mansha, I didn't get your doubt. Guys, we need to do it quickly, guys. After welcome to Anaconda. Okay. So once your Anaconda installation is completed, here you have to type, go to your search bar and you have to type Anaconda Navigator. And I will type it, Anaconda Navigator. So you should get a screen somewhat like this, and here you can click on open. Still installing. Sir, Anaconda is still installing in my laptop. Still installing, taking a lot of time. Syed Aban says it's stuck. Okay, for those of you whoever is working, you can continue with this. For others, I can't find the file. Which file? Abhishek VR. For others, whoever is stuck with the installation, just give a couple of minutes so that your installation is completed. Untitled one. So here you can click on new, click on folder. Okay. And scroll down, scroll down. Here you can see untitled folder seconds ago. You can also check it from the time. Abhishek VR, you can check it from here. Click on new, click on folder, and it will automatically create a folder called an untitled folder or untitled folder 1. Harshal Patakar after launching Jupyter on Google Chrome. Jupyter notebook. So here it is. You'll click on launch. Once you click on launch, you'll come to screen like this. Once you come here, you'll create a new folder. Once you create a folder, you'll rename the folder. Then you will click on Python 3 and automatically you will be redirected to this web page. For those of you who are having problems with Jupyter Notebook, I am repeating this step again. Kindly follow. So you'll go to search box. You'll type Anaconda Navigator. From Anaconda Navigator, you'll get this particular screen where you are able to find Jupyter Notebook. Click on launch. Once you click on launch, you will be redirected to this web page. Once you reach this particular web page, click on new and click on folder. Once you click on folder, you will get untitled folder. Obviously, a new folder is created in your desktop site. Here you can check it from, where is it? Either you can check it from the timeline. Here, untitled folder. Folder is created. Click on the folder. Just click on here. There is a checkbox. Click on this checkbox. Scroll up and you can rename the folder. Once you are done with renaming of folder and creation of folder, again go back here on your right hand side top. This is the place where I am talking about. Right hand side top. Click on this new and click on Python. You will be directly sent to this web page. There is no registration. There is no, nothing related in this. Nothing complicated in this part. Everybody fine with this part? Yes or no? Harshal? Yogaraj says, okay, fine. Harshal, any doubts? After renaming Mansha, what we have to do? Click on new. Guys, kindly follow. After this, I will not be repeating again. Mansha. Click on new and click on Python. After renaming is done, you will have to click on new and click on Python 3. Here you can see IPv kernel. So click on this one. Yes. Guys, any other issues? Anybody else having problem with this? Okay, fine. I guess we have spent so much of time on this. I hope by now everybody is comfortable with the installation. Harshal, Shubham, Suprabhat, Ghosh, I see you have raised hands. Jatish, Ravesh, you guys having any doubts? Sanjit, Sahil, Shubham, Shubham Bhujade, Shubhaprad Ghosh, Jatish, Ravesh, Sanjit, Sahil. Guys, do you have any doubts? You can drop a message here. Python is updating, let it be. Kiran, then I'll just lower hands of this. Kiran,
Yes, yes, Arhan.
we can continue with our
Okay, great.
PPT.
Sure.
I guess I've given you screen access also.
Mm,
Can you check once?
hold
Yes.
on.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Guys, now Kiran will take over and we'll continue with the presentation part.
Okay. So guys, you can meanwhile, if you want to check if you're, if at all you're writing your first program just with print and then hello world, it should give you a hello world, as your output. All right. You saw the, can we go back to that syntax around? Some people might be having an issue with it. Can we drop it in the chat? If just for people who've already done, done the installation process, you can
Which
just
one,
go
Kiran?
ahead. Print hello world. Can we drop it in the chat? I'm just checking if we can drop it in the chat.
Yes, yes, we can.
Okay.
Are you typing it?
Yes, I'm typing it. This single line, I think I've sent it to everyone. You can just check if you're. Yes, okay. Vinayak says he's already done it. Great.
Guys, here you can see I'm also typing it here.
Yes, you should see something like this. Right. So one more huge, yeah, like I said, you don't have to install your libraries here. All are pre-installed and ready to good to go. Actually, the only limitation here would be when you're dealing with petabytes of data, like huge data sets, like for example, these, visual computing guys and all these other, fancy data science related jobs. These guys use, huge data sets. Okay, when you're using huge data sets, assimilating everything inside Jupyter notebook would be a headache. All right, like it obviously it's a cloud computing, like a feature, right? So you will have limited access to how you can dispense your memory, right? So that is one thing. So that is why, so for learning your Python, or maybe even for making notes, it's a very useful feature. So Arhan is printing a basic program here. All right. So what do you think, Arhan? We'll ask. Okay.
Okay.
I thought we'll ask them. Okay, no problem. People
Okay.
can, we'll write another,
Hmm.
yeah, we can use input, right? Arhan, can we use input? Okay.
Yes.
So
I given you screen access.
yes. So let's name our input X. Okay.
Harshal Patakar. Do we have to use Anaconda Python only for mechanical? No, we can use it
No.
for other, branches also.
See, there is nothing like only for mechanical, only for computer science. All right, people have built a bunch of tools for their particular needs. All right, so mechanical engineers, I don't think we've built a particular tool for our particular needs, but like most of them use Jupyter notebook or maybe even
Yes,
Visual
Jagmohan.
Studio.
It's small p.
Yeah. So guys, I think I touched upon what input does, right? Can anybody like, what do you think this would ask you to do? Like, what do you think it would give us? Okay, that is because we didn't give it any input, right?
Kiran, just a second.
Yeah, just
Ah.
okay, there was something in between. Okay. Uh, so just hold on, guys. So this obviously gives us a prompt saying that enter a number. Also, this allows you to assign a value for X. So if you have values that are changing constantly, like for example, user defined, for sometimes you would have to use X to be some 100, and the next iteration you want to check if it's check a particular variable, okay, for 100 time steps, let's say. All right, then you would use for varying time steps, you can use different values of this input function to see different values getting assigned to X. All right, if you just hold on. So do you see this? If you just click X, it is getting saved. So again, if you reassign, let's say, if you write X here, X equals 2, what do you think will be printed here? Uh, yeah, what do you think will be printed here when what will the value of X be here? Can people tell me what they think about the output here? Will it be 2 or will it be 100? Guys, am I audible? Are you okay? Nice. Tushar says it's 2. Syed also says it's 2. Great. So what do the other guys think? 2, right? Okay, great. Just to verify. 2. Great. So now here you might ask, some people might have this question. Why is it 2 here? And why is this 100 inside this quotation marks or something like this, quote marks, right? Why is it like this? Can anybody tell me why there is a difference between this and this? We essentially gave it a similar kind of an input, right? We gave it a number. But what is this? We will be touching upon this in the later section. But if you guys can tell me why what this is right now, then connecting to the next further slides would become easier for you guys. Are people answering?
Kiran, just a minute.
Oh,
I'll also open my
okay.
chat box.
Okay.
Okay, so the answers that I'm getting is it is volatile, sir, not constant. That is by Meher Chaitanya. String and integer.
Mm,
Jagmohan
okay.
Yadav says 100 is variable value, but 2 is constant.
Mm-hmm. 100 is variable, but 2 is constant. Okay, interesting answers. Okay, Faizan asks me
Please
like,
repeat once. Someshwar
okay,
says,
Someshwar.
please repeat once.
Okay, so okay, should I repeat from print hello world? Okay,
No, no.
sure. Maybe X from line 4, right? Okay,
Yes, yes, Kiran.
okay. So we were talking about inbuilt functions in Python, right? Print and input were the two things that we covered previously. So print is an inbuilt function in Python which takes an input, not a single like it takes it is possible of taking multiple inputs, but for your simplicity sake, we are taking just we're just taking one input here, which is which is a uh, it is a string data type, right? And it is printing it. So if you write print 1, what do you think this is going to give? Any guesses? No? Okay,
SL says error.
okay. Rograd says it's 1. Okay. Venkateshwara Reddy also says it's 1. Great. Okay, let's check. Yeah, who was right?
Jagmohan
Okay,
also
why
says error.
why did Vinayak think it would be an error? Okay, you might have your explanation, but you can type it in the chat. You can have a discussion there of your own, right? Okay, so this is what is about the print statement. All right. When you give this statement, right? For example, like input. Input is another inbuilt feature in inbuilt function. Let's call it a function. All right. This is an inbuilt function in Python, and this takes input from the user. User is actually you. I am the user now here. I'm using this IDE to perform some particular task. So I'm just when I click run, it it opens a prompt like a dialog box of sorts. All right. This Python is trying to communicate with you. So what have you entered here? This is your making. Like you have you can name it. You can put anything here. All right. For example, uh, what input, right? This can also be okay. Wait. Mm, okay. Do we have to? Okay. Do we have to? Do we have to this? Okay. Arhan, do we have to just refresh the screen or something? Can we do this?
No, Kiran, it's working properly.
Okay. I think there is some latency issue. Okay, hold on. Yeah, seems like there is some issue here. Can we just quickly refresh? Okay, anyway. Yes, I think this is an issue with from our end. Just hold on, let's figure this out. Arhan, can you try it from your end? This should not happen. Or maybe just open a new
Let
one.
us open new tab.
Yeah, let's try this. Arhan, can you click on rename? I think it's only reserved to the admin.
Yes, Kiran, I've done
Yes.
it.
See, so you can technically add anything inside this parenthesis, all right, with it within the quotation marks. So you, for example, do you think we can enter apple here? A word, apple or orange?
Let us take a poll, Kiran.
Okay,
Let us see how many of you can answer this.
yeah.
Here you can
So,
click on Kiran.
yeah,
This was not working for us, right? Here we can
yes,
click
yes.
on stop and we'll click on run again. Yeah. Now click on run.
Here again, huh?
Yes.
Are they answering? I'm not able to see the chat because I'm
Yes,
typing.
yes. Most of them are answering to me. The answers I'm getting is yes, because Apple is a string. By default, it takes string as input. That is one answer I've got till now.
Nice. Okay. So here it says enter a number, but if you write A, B, C, D, E, F, G or something like this, will it take it? What do you guys think?
SL says yes. Sneha also says yes.
Okay, good.
Meher
So
says yes.
what is inside the, yeah, great, Venkatesh Reddy also says it takes it, right? Yograj also says it takes it. Great. So essentially what is inside the, you know, quote marks or this inverted commas is irrelevant. All right. What is relevant is your function, inbuilt function called input in MATLAB, in Python, sorry. You'll find a lot of commonality with these functions with respect to other programming languages as well. Like even MATLAB has the same, with the same name, the same function can be performed on MATLAB. So there'll be a bunch of commonalities between programming languages. Essentially, everything has evolved from a single concept called object-oriented programming. Anyway, this is not object-oriented programming, but they all follow a similar set of rules. All right. So yeah, this was like okay. You'll see more about this in the coming sections. All right. So okay, Arhan, do you think we should start with some basic programming here, or can we go ahead with the slides?
We'll go ahead with the slides. We'll just
Yeah,
give
sure.
brief
Yeah.
summary on what all we
Okay.
discussed
So
till now.
guys, if you are seeing, uh, things that you're seeing on the screen, like if you can compare from what we are doing and what you're seeing on your screen. So if it's the same, then your Python probably works well. All right. Okay.
Guys, is everyone comfortable with whatever we have taught till now?
Yeah, I know it's
Yes.
just the basics, but I
Yeah.
want you guys to feel like, okay, this is doable. Like if you have issues, you can just drop it in the chat. If you have questions, okay.
Just a quick summary of what all we discussed. We discussed how to install this Python software, and now you have also seen what is the use of input as a function, right?
Yeah.
And we have also seen how to print a basic command called as hello world, right? Yeah, Jagmohan says all is good. Yes. So now we'll continue with
Great.
the PPT part, Kiran again.
Sure, sure.
Guys, we are back to our PPT part. Uh, let us know if you have any doubts in between. Okay. You can also raise your hand or you can drop a message in the chat box. We are here. Okay. Kiran, you can continue.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Guys, we saw how to install Python, right? Uh, yes. Old Macs come with the pre-installed Python, all right? So I also remember seeing a question, what is the difference between Python 2 and 3? They are just older versions of Python. That's it. 3 is the newer versions of Python. Like previously I asked you to, I mean, like Arhan showed from the screen, we saw that, I asked you guys to download Python 3.9 point something, right? Because I don't want you guys to download the newest version. Usually sometimes it comes with a little bit of trouble with its as it's already new, right? So older versions are said to be stable. So rule of thumb, go with a slightly lower version of your Python. Okay. And for Mac, you'll have 2.7 something, Python 2.7 or something would be pre-installed. But as of October 2022, you'll have to this 3.1.10.8 will be the most recent one. Sometimes depending on the chipset and all these things, I think sometimes Mac OS does not come with Python, but this is a complete whole different debate altogether. So Mac users already know how to use Anaconda here. I don't think they'll have trouble with Python now. So guys, I've talked about IDE, and the IDE that we were using here is Jupyter Notebook. And see, this is your Python shell. All right, on the right, you see an image, right? So if you download a local version of your Python, this is what you will see here. All right. This is just, it's called a shell because it does not come with additional features. Everything will work exactly how it should be working. All right. This Python shell will recognize your Python syntax, but the only problem is, can't you guys tell it's boring, right? It's boring, and a lot of functionalities are missing here. Like, in case you used a Jupyter notebook, you had all these features. So I'll touch upon all the markdown features and heading and all these stuff. Okay. Um, I'll walk you through that in the later section. But if you have a locally downloaded Python version, then this is how your Python shell will look like. On top of this, you will have to layer an IDE, like it just like how if some of you guys are gamers, you would know skins is a very in these war kind of games, you have these skins, you can change skins, right, to look more appealing or something. So even here, Python comes with its own skins, and these skins are IDEs, and it also comes with additional features, unlike just the apparel, aspect of it. All right. And uh, okay, so Arhan, do you have access? I think you took access. Can you go left to the previous slide? I'm unable to go to the previous one. Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay. And just like how I taught you guys how to download Python on Windows or Mac. All right. There is another uh, you know OS called Linux. This is also free for all to download and use. Okay. Unlike Windows, life in Linux is a bit tougher. Only developers use Linux. If some of you guys may also know Linux by now, like if you've done some, if there are into CFD enthusiasts here, they would have heard of OpenFOAM. OpenFOAM exclusively works on Linux based platforms like Ubuntu, Debian, and other platforms. All right. So this is you will be able to run Python even on Linux, and it is a similar experience altogether. In Linux, one advantage is you can run code even without opening your shell or something. You just have to go to the location and then you can run the code. All right. This some people feel like this is a good advantage. Some people do not, most of them don't use this feature. But if you're into software development and stuff like that, this could be a good feature because you will be bypassing a lot of button clickings on your mouse. You'll just by using your keyboard, you will be able to run everything. It'll almost look like you're hacking into a computer, but it looks really cool, but it's equally complicated. All right. Okay. So in Python, you got to first so whatever you type on the Python IDE is called a Python script. All right. So each and every line in your Python script is read one at a time. All right. Your assignments. So your variables, for example, x is equal to input. I showed you an example, right? So x is equal to an input, and within the inverted commas, you will have some prompt message, enter a number, enter a value, something, correct? So each line is read at a single time, all right, one at a time, sequential, and we can call that sequential. All right. So it does not, so in case you are using a function or any other, if you are trying to debug your code using breaking points or any other debugging mechanism, only then there will be a roadblock, or the sequence will get interrupted there. If you're just writing lines of code one below the other, each of them will be read one at a time, right? So Yograj has asked me which version of Python is best to practice. Which version? uh, Not too old, not too new. One version lesser to the newest one should be the best version. All right. Okay. So this is a simple example on Python. Okay, this is how a Python script looks like on Visual Studio Code. All right, this is just an overview. So if you look at it, can I annotate? Can I write on the screen? Do I have this? Just hold on.
Kiran, I
Okay.
guess you can use a whiteboard.
That will be a different screen altogether. No problem. I'll manage with this. Okay. So guys, like I said, your Python code, so you might see all this green text and blue num, and everything. The print command is in yellow. Your if else are in purple. Probably I'm weak with colors. Sorry if I'm telling all the wrong colors here. Okay, and the range is in green. So these are the features of an IDE. All right, it makes your code look interesting, and these are color coded. All right, these colors are coded in the particular way so that you'll be able to identify your variables from your conditional statements to your the other string values. All right, here you see print sorry factorial does not exist for negative numbers, right? So this is in, I suppose, orange. So why is this? No, so this is in orange because you're giving it the same thing. So this is all color coded so that it makes your life easy. If you're trying to identify something, color coded identification works well in the back of your mind. Even if you deny this, uh, we tend to recognize colors and patterns faster than just plain text. How many of you guys agree with me? Right? Do you guys agree with me? Color coded stuff is better than just plain text. So these things are available on different IDs. So that is why I said Visual Studio Code is good if you are using it on your systems as a downloaded offline extension. All right. So here this hash symbol on line 1. Do you see this line 1 hash Python program to find factorial of a number provided by the user? Correct. So this hash symbol you see here is called a comment. All right. Why do we need comments in Python? Comments are important in Python because code, like the name suggests, code is coded. Like it is not actual meaning of uh, it is not an actual meaning. Only Python or the programmer who's coding it will understand what it is. But these are all small codes. If you look at big databases, like for example, cloud computing guys, or many organizations collaborate together and work on a particular code at one single time. All right. So they make changes and they execute, test it all virtually on cloud. Cloud, for people who don't understand, cloud is something that uh, it's like you're running things on a particular server, and then your multiple people are operating on it simultaneously. All right. Like it's all it's not locally done on your computer, but again, it's like a collaborative space where people can do a lot of things. So Arhan, I think you went to the next slide. Can we go back?
Yes, Kiran.
Yeah. Okay. So your comments are very important for people to understand what you've done. Each and every person will use a different logic while programming. Each and every person will have his own programming style. So just to avoid confusion and just for future reusability of the code, we add comments. Okay, people join and leave organizations every now and then. So not every now and then, but at least it is not impossible thing, right? Like people do leave organizations, they do develop code, but to maintain this continuity in knowledge, they document it, they also include comments. All right. So here so num is equal to 7. So the comment says change the value for a different result. Okay. So this is pretty straightforward, right? If at all you had to figure this out on your own, you might take 5 minutes, or like if you're a beginner, it might take you a couple of minutes to figure out that okay, num equals 7. Okay, if I change this, you'll get a different result. But here with the comment, it makes it very obvious that when you change this num equals 7 assignment to a different value, then you will get a different result. Okay. And so here also we see to take input from the user. So this is an alternate from line 6 and 7. You can see that if you have to take input from a user in line 7, we have commented it out. All right, the hash num is equal to int input enter a number, right? So that's two functions in the same line. All right. So one is your input function and the other is your int function. So people can guess why we are using int function there additionally to just the input function, in addition to the input function. All right. You can drop a text in the chat. I'll proceed and I'll revisit this again. So if you want to check, so factorial equals 1, that is your initial value. All right. That is like, for example, if you did not have this line 9, your line 18, which is the heart of your code, will not work. All right. That is because Python will essentially not know what is factorial. It will start asking, what is factorial? Factorial equals factorial star I. It might know what I is. I, it knows because you're defining it in line 17 in the for loop, right? But factorial is something that it does not know. So initially, so again, you might be asking factorial equals factorial into I. So will the value 1 be assigned on the left hand side or the right hand side? Guys, can you reply it on the chat? Reply to this question on the chat. Will your assignment variable assignment here factorial equals 1, right? So where does this 1 sit? Is it on the left hand side? Does it uh, get substituted in the left hand side or the right hand side? In line 18, right? Faizan says it's on the right. Okay, others? Okay.
Sharma also say it is on the right.
Okay, great. So this is one more thing that you should remember always. So you people might get confused. Factorial equals factorial into I. How come factorial is also equal to factorial multiplied by I? It is a little confusing, you might think, but the neat part is whatever you have on the right hand side will get calculated, and then that value is assigned to your uh, factorial on the left hand side. Like that is a variable, right? Variable. So variable is a memory. It's stored in the memory. Factorial is just stored in the memory, computer memory. All right. And then assignment happens. Okay. Factorial star I. So here factorial 1 that is why we are defining factorial 1 here. If it was something else, if it was even 0, then you can only imagine factorial 0 into I will obviously give you 0, and your whole factorial calculation would have been, like the value would have been wrong, right? So we are also touching upon if, else, else if and else here. Let's not try to go into it, because we are touching upon this in the final, like the second half of the workshop. All right. So in short, if you want to know, it's just like it's just like gates. All right. If number is lesser than 0, so can you find factorial for negative values? So
Marshall
if
says no.
if it's a negative value, yeah. So if it does not, if it's a negative value, obviously, so if num is equal to -1 or -10 or something, some random negative integer, then this will not take the value. All right. This so so your line 12, at line 12, it will execute the print at line 12. This condition is true. Num lesser than 0 is true. And then line 13 will get executed. So on your console, or your message that you see on your dialog box would be, sorry, factorial does not exist for negative numbers. All right. So if this is true, only if this is true, if this line 12 condition is false, then it will go to line 14. Else, if number is double equal 0. So what you might be asking, what is double equal 0? Double equal 0 is it gives you a Boolean result, Boolean operation. All right. So for example, it only has two outcomes. Num double equal 0 can either be true or false. All right. It is not equal. This is not same as num equal to 0 and num double equal to 0 are different, because num double equal to 0 will return you a Boolean value, that is true or false. Okay, we'll touch upon this later on, but just letting you know. So if this if line 14 is true, then your print statement will be executed, and the factorial of 0 is 1. That is what it will print. All right. If these both conditions, if and elif, both are false, then it goes to line 16. And then you see, so if it's neither, if it's not a 0, if your number is not a 0, if your number is not a negative integer, it is obviously a positive integer, right? So then you'll use the for loop, and then this for loop is just like a continuous loop until your for loop is true, like I is equal to I in range of, we'll touch upon this later, but factorial, if for example factorial initially. Factorial is 1, right? So in line 18, just focus on line 18, guys. Okay. So on line 18, your factorial is equal to factorial multiplied by I. So your factorial value, what is the factorial value here, guys? Again, I told you about this a while ago. So what is factorial here? Can you type this in chat on the right hand side? What is the factorial value? Yes, Yograj says it's 1. Great. So factorial is 1. And your I is the one that is changing values from 1 to num plus 1. Num plus 1 is a logical thing that you will understand it later. But so it will go from 1 to num plus 1. That is num is 7 here. So num plus 1 is 8. 1 to 8. All right. So factorial is equal to factorial into I. So I is changing values from, can you guys tell me, what values of, what are the values I will take? What is the range of values that I is supposed to take? Can you guys type it in the chat? I'll take questions right after I finish this section. All right. If people feel like they're not able to follow, I'll take questions. So guys, what do you think? What do you think the value of I will be here for each? Yes. So your I will be, Sneha says your I will be from 1 to 7. Are you sure, Sneha?
Harshal also says the same answer. We have two
Okay.
answers. SL says 1 to 8.
Interesting. Any other answers?
Harshal gave two answers actually. Harshal says 1 to 7 is one answer.
Okay.
Second answer is 1 to 8.
Okay, we need to run polls
Harshal
now.
is playing safe now.
Yes,
Yeah.
we need to run polls and then ask them the same question. Okay. Okay, guys. But all you guys 1 to 8 right answer. Unfortunately, 1 to 7 is your wrong answer because I'll tell you why. So you see in the for loop inside the parenthesis, yellow parenthesis, you see 1 comma num plus 1, right? That is num plus 1 is 7 plus 1, that is 8. Sanket has a question, how to join classes? What classes? Okay, we'll take this up later. If you have doubts regarding this particular section, please go ahead and ask. All right, so it goes from 1 to 8, guys. So why 8, not 7? Because uh, Python starts counting numbers from 0. All right, your first number in Python is going to be 0. And then your final number is eliminated. So for example, from 0 to if you count from so maybe we'll touch upon this later, but 1 to 8 is the right answer. So 1 to 8 will run from 1 to 8, and then 8 is omitted. Usually Python omits the final value. So if you have an array of sorts, so 1 to 8, and then if you want to print them out, uh, I think this would be better if I could go with an example, but we'll touch upon that later. But this is just the introduction to the Python script. All right. So did you guys get it? Did you guys get at least not if
Yes.
all
Harshal
of it?
says is Harshal gave correct answer. He has
Okay.
written 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes.
Yes,
So
exactly.
that is what we were
So that is
about to
your index
explain.
values. So
Yes.
that is your index values. All right. So
This is
each
the
of these
most
are,
important in Python. Your indexing starts with 0.
yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, guys. So you guys have doubts, you can shoot it to us. We'll try to answer it as best as possible.
Guys, anybody, any doubts?
I know this could have been a little extra for you guys as of now because we just started with print and input, and here I am with a factorial code. I just wanted you to see it for yourself because this will, I think, in my opinion, this will reduce that. If some people have this they just get overwhelmed when they see a bunch of code. I just want to, there is defog that here actually. I just want people not to feel overwhelmed when they see a bunch of code like this in different colors, right? Okay.
Okay,
What
Meher
if we
has
use
got one
single quote
interesting doubt.
instead of? Okay, okay, go ahead.
Kiran,
Yes, yes.
Meher says, sir, the final print is at the last. The line number 19 he is talking
Yeah,
about.
yes.
So it is at the end of if else statement.
Uh-huh.
If it is in if else block, it prints all values, sir. That is his doubt. So here I would like to say it is not inside the for loop. If you observe carefully, it is outside the for loop.
So
Kiran, would you like to add any point on this?
yes, Python, see, this is called indentation, all right? White space. You will see that in the following
Next slide itself.
slides. So here you see this, right? The lines under for, you have a straight line. So everything within that line, as in it should be under factorial. You see line 19, line 18, right? If it's right below line 18 with two spaces in between, from the leftmost corner, you have two space characters, right? This is actually not space characters; those are tab characters. All right. So if it is within this region, then your for it will come under your for loop. So if it is slightly outside the for loop, it is still under the if conditions, correct? If and else conditions, it is still under it, correct? That is why it is not under your for loop, uh, but it is under your if else
So
thing actually.
just to summarize it, line
Yes.
number 18 belongs to your line number 17, which is your for loop, whereas your line number 19, it belongs to your line number 16, which is your else statement. So if you observe the spacing, line number 18 has two tab spacing, so it belongs to line number 17. Okay, whereas your line number 19, it has one tab spacing. It is actually, just like it is coming under your else statement, so it belongs to your else statement. So we'll see more on this when we discuss about what is meant by if statements. Harshal says means braces and brackets are not used in Python for loops and conditional statement. Harshal, no, we don't use braces and brackets. So this is how if else loops are written. We'll see there are few examples also on this, and also we have couple of exercises for you to do. Okay, that will be taken it in this class itself. We have like 5 or 6 examples given for each conditional statement. So Harshal also asked, what does colon means? Colon is just like end of your statement. It is saying that we are going to the next line. So whenever we are going to the next line, we are going to end that particular line with colon operator. So in case of MATLAB, we used to have this semicolon operator. Yes, EP3171. So Kiran, is this you? EP3171. Colon is added for
Okay.
conditional statements in Python. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So I have another. Sorry if I missed something. I had some issue with the mic. Right? Did you ask me something, Arhan?
No, Karan.
Okay.
I
Okay.
just asked.
Okay. Great. Okay. So Faizan says, what if we use single quote instead of double quote here? Interesting question. So if at all you, so for example, I'll show you one example in the chat. Okay. Just Arhan, can we
Yeah,
quickly
we
give?
can actually use
Yeah,
this also
Jupyter.
if Jupyter.
Yes.
It is here. Yes. Kiran, is this fine?
Yes, yes. I guess I have access, right?
Yes, sir. You do have access.
Yes.
Kiran.
Okay. So let's say print. This was your question, right? Faizan. Yep. Okay. We'll use both Okay. Um, okay. So
Kiran,
the same statement, I'll be running it. I mean, using it here. All right. What do you guys think will be the output here?
Kiran,
Yes?
can you remove that apostrophe for WhatsApp
No, it's
words?
okay. That was intentional.
Okay.
So I'm just answering Faizan's question here. Okay. So what do you guys think will be the answer to this and to this? Will it will both give the same statement, or will there be difference here? Guys, difference. Okay, Sneha says it's different.
Meher says
First
it's same.
one's up to what? Faizan, first one's up to what? Okay, I didn't get your question, Faizan. There will be difference, Santosh says. Sneha says
Harshal
first one
says
will be error. Great. Okay. And first line give error. Venkateshwara Reddy also says it. Okay, great. Okay, what about other guys? I only see these names here. Okay.
Karan, Harshal says second
Uh-huh.
one will run properly, first one will show error.
Okay, great. Most of your answers have, yeah, let's try them out. Let's check them out. Right. Okay, great. So it says invalid syntax, right? That is because you already see here the color coding, right? It's all gone. Unlike here. So there is not much difference if you guys can make out from what you see here, right? This is double quotes are used only when you are forced to use this single quote mark. All right, Faizan, did you get the idea behind why we use this? Basically, you can use, a better thing to do would be to always go for a double quote mark, because no one, like by default, if you make this, like this error somewhere, that's not a good thing, right? Having errors, always try to reduce the number of errors that you could potentially get. All right. Okay, great. Faizan's doubt is now cleared. So we can go back to the presentation, Arhan.
Yes, yes.
Guys, if anybody wants to take a break or something, just hold on for another 3-4 slides. We'll take a break and then continue again. Okay. Okay. So this is all. I think I covered this slide previously, but again, let me reiterate. So a Python program is a series of instructions, right? And this series of instructions are executed line by line, one at a time. Okay, and these lines of codes are called as statements. Okay, and you know. Uh, so when you these objects are something that you see on the when you assign a value to some variable, the right hand side is usually called the object. All right, each object will have a type, data type, like integer, character, string, boolean. Boolean is nothing but true false kind of data type. Okay, and moreover, there are many other data types, tuples and all these things. We'll cover this in the coming sections. And expressions and operation. Okay, so the this is all like I just covered it previously, so we can go to the next one. Can we go to the next slide, Arhan? I think I'm not able to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were talking about the gaps, and people got confused why there are like what is under what and what is being executed within the for loop, what is outside the for loop, right? So here, for example, you see the function, you know, nonsense. Okay, this was intentionally added. But here you see that you know, this if condition has an end command at can you identify where your if condition has its end keyword? Guys, can you, from the last, can you say which end statement is for your if condition? Okay, Yograj says second, but is it second from last? Second, okay, right? Okay, last before end. Santosh says, right? Okay, so great. So this is instead of having this end every time, it is redundant, correct? So that is why in Python, the developers have removed this end statement. Like there is no need for an end statement. They just add spaces like the tab spaces, and then whatever lies within the tab space is you know, whatever lies within the tab space will get executed first, inside the loop, right? For this for loop, you might say uh, your print is one tab inside the for loop, right? So it says that it is within the for loops. The print ln statement is within the for loop, and your end statement is it's redundant. So that is why they removed it altogether. So you know, this is the whole idea of having you know, these are called indentations. And Python is very unique where you indentations are very important. If you miss your indentations, the spacings, in other words, then your code may or may not work, may or may not give you the desired output. All right, so indentations are very important, and you should maintain you know, attention when you're trying to code it. All right, so this is about the white spaces and all these. All right, so in if you want to go in depth, all right, let's try to do it in the next sections. All right, can we go to the next slide? Again, there is some issue.
Kiran, are you getting this?
No, I'm not able to go to the next slide. Okay, now. Okay, so guys, I showed you what uh you know, what a comment is in Python, right? There are different ways of going at it. So Arhan, can you just quickly show me this you know, the Python screen, Jupyter notebook?
Jupyter, just a
Yeah.
minute. Yes.
So here, if you have to, so variable one, okay, let's say um, this okay, the variable one is 3. Now let's say all right, this is your comment. Let's say you had multiple comments. All right, for example, if you had to add multiple lines, so okay, so if at all this was in 2 lines, let's say this is a sentence, and if it's in multiple lines, so your comment is this, right? So this is just a line comment. But you know, for if you want to indent so comment out multiple lines, 1 2 3, okay, this automatically gives you 3 by default. But do you see this, guys? these three like this is your multi-line comment. Okay, there is another way of doing it. Okay, we can do this. Mm, okay, these are the three ways in which you can add comment to your lines. So these are essentially very important in your code. So like Faizan asked, right, why do we use double quotes and single quotes? I think this is self-explanatory, right? Now if you had to add an apostrophe here, this will create some issue here. Okay, so that is why we use double quotes and single quotes here. All right, and this is about comments. And again, there is another feature called markdown. So if it's a markdown, you can type a bunch of stuff, and then if you hit enter, yeah, this acts like a text message, right? This you can so if you had to explain what you've done in the following lines, you can add it as a markdown. So if you want to run it as a code, this is the code. So this is one more useful feature of your Jupyter notebook.
Kiran, just a second, I'll close it.
Yes, I think I don't have access. Yeah. Uh,
Yes,
okay.
Kiran.
So this could have been this is essentially your heading of sorts, right? So these things you can basically make your whole entire Jupyter notebook into your personal notes for Python. Okay, you can add this, you can write explanations, you can add code, you can add results, all of this in one page. And that is why Jupyter notebook is widely used by even in the industry. All right, so this is about comments and adding markdowns and other stuff. So yeah, we can just go back to your um, to the presentation. Okay. Okay, so okay, this is what I was talking about: single line comment, multi-line comment. All right, so guys, can you tell me what is a single, like how you could what is the symbol for single line comment? Okay, Jishu had a question. Okay, Venkatesh Reddy says it's hash, great. So for multi-line guys. Okay, triple quote, great. Okay, so Jishu had a question here. Semicolon or a colon is used to end statement. No, do you see semicolon and colon in Python? No, right? We don't do that here, but at least while we end a conditional statement or loop, right? Then you will be using a colon. All right. So here variables. So this is again, this is what I touched upon previously as well. You can assign a string. Yeah. So we here your message says hello world, and again you're printing that again, right? So you're assigning this string value to your message, and similarly your message equals 42 is what do you call, is assigned to your message, and then that is getting that is your output here. So when you run what do you think will be the output? What do you think will be the um, Okay, your message variable is being rewritten. Something, then your message value will become 25. All right. This is called variables. So variables are just memory locations, and then you can assign a value to that memory location. All right. That's it. So in short, 42 in short can be called using message. All right. That's it. That is the idea of this here.
Yes, Kiran, we can stop here and give them 10
Yes.
minutes break.
Yes. 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 Sure.
Right now the time is 7:05.
Yes.
Mehul, are you with us?
Yes.
Yeah. We are planning to give 10 minutes break for the students, as you know there are plenty of slides remaining. So if you take it in one go, everybody will fall asleep. So let us take
Yeah,
10
yeah.
minutes quick refreshing break. Okay, and we'll join again at 7:15. Don't leave the meeting. Stay in the same meeting. No, just go and have some tea, coffee if you want, or just stretch your back and come back again. Okay, we'll start sharp at 7:15, guys. Will that be fine, Kiran?
Sure. Sure. Works with.
Mehul? Mehul, is that fine?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, Aran and Kiran. Let's give them
Cool.
break for 10 minutes and
Sure.
then we'll kickstart.
Yeah.
Cool, cool. Okay,
Yeah.
guys. Yes, guys. So I'm here. We'll start the meeting shortly. Okay, guys. So is everyone with me now? Yes, no?
Raise
Can
your
take
hands, please, if you're still awake. Okay.
only three people are there.
Three,
Remaining is slept.
10.
Okay, guys. So I'm gonna take over from Kiran. Kiran, thank you for having interactive session.
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead, Daran.
Yes, yes.
Thanks for coordinating with the slide sharing and all that.
Yes.
I'll see you guys again.
So till now we have discussed the very basics of what is meant by your Python software, right? We have also installed our Python software using Anaconda, right? And also Kiran sir has discussed most of the points related to how to start off with a code, how to write a basic code, correct? So from here we are actually going deep into Python software, and we'll see what are the various types of variables present in Python. So what is meant by variable in Python? So what are the various operations that we can do inside Python software? So all these things will go step by step. So first of all, we are starting with what is meant by variables. So we'll start with this. So what is meant by variable? Guys, any answers from any of you? What is meant by variable? I guess by now we have heard this term so many times, right? Kiran sir was also using this. Any answers from any of you? Values will vary. No, which is used to store some value. Perfect. Meher Chaitanya gave perfect answer. Any common value? No. So variable is nothing but, you know, it is a storage location where you can hold or store value of an object. Just like say, for example, you are defining x equal to 5. So here your variable is nothing but your x. And what is that x doing? It is storing the value which is assigned to it. So whatever value is being assigned to that variable, right? So that will be stored in that variable. So how do you assign value to a variable? You can use by using the operator called as equal to. Here you can see variable is created by assigning a value to the name using the assignment operator equal to. So basically you can write any name for the variable. Just give me 1 minute. So basically you can define any name for the variable. Say, as of now, I could remember most of the names. just like, Sanket was there. So you can write your variable name as Sanket also. Say if you write Sanket equal to say some defining some value, say 5 or 10. So even that we can call it as a variable. So basically anything that you write and you define, is there any rules for using variable? No. You can use any name, or basically you can write anything for a variable. So what all can it hold? A variable can hold various types of values, such as it can hold numbers, or if you want to define strings or list, dictionary, and many more. So Python is dynamically typed language, which means variables can change type as needed. So what does this particular line say? So we are simply saying that a variable name can be anything, and you can store anything in a variable name. So basically either you can store number, string, or dictionary, or anything. Okay. So how do we define variable? Here you can see I've written a code called as message equal to hello world, right? So here my message is nothing but a variable name. So what is the value assigned to it? It is a string which is called as hello world, right? So whatever you are seeing on the right hand side, so this particular string or message is being assigned to this variable, right? So when you print message, which is nothing but print variable. So what is the variable here? Here the variable is message. So when you print it, so it will actually display what is being assigned to this variable name. So in this particular case, our variable is assigned with hello world. So when you print it, we'll get our output as hello world, right? Is this point clear? Similarly, we have one more code which is given. Here also we are writing it as message, and here we have assigned a number to it. So message is a variable, and we have assigned a number to this variable. And when you print that particular variable, it will display what is being stored. So here we are storing number 42 in this particular variable name called as message. So when you print message, so it will actually display 42. Why is it displaying 42? Because we have assigned this particular number called as 42 to this variable name message. Is that fine? Yes or no? Guys, any doubts? Cool. So now comes the interesting part for all of you, right? So we have installed Python software, right? And there, you can actually take this as exercise, and I'll give you 5 minutes of time. Kindly try to do these exercises. So it is like, plug and play for you. So your first problem is, you can write a program in Python language that has, can we use special characters as variable name? Special characters, no. No, Mohit, you cannot use. Write a program in Python that asks user to enter their name and display their name with a welcome message. So can somebody do this exercise? Yes. So let me give you a quick example of this. If you want, we can use, say, name equal to input. So I am defining my variable name as name equal to input. Whose name shall we type? Yes. Can you see here? Guys, everybody following with me? Don't we have to use colon at the end? No. Name equal to input, please enter the name, print name. Perfect. Harshal. Kathy Singh, yes. Harshal, we don't have to use. SL has written C equal to input, what is your name, user. Print, hi, C, how are you? Perfect. So let us see one of. I'll write Faizan. Yes. Guys, everybody comfortable with this? So we have another, we can actually write it in another method also. So let me put it in this way. So is this given by Jishu Mohan? Right? So that's how, you start using variable name. Okay. And
I also had a question here
yes, yes.
saying, can we use numbers?
Numbers?
Interesting question for variable name.
No.
Yes, actually, it should not start with a number, but you can have
Number.
numbers in between.
Yes, you can
You
have
can,
number in
yes,
between.
yeah, but it should not start with a number. You can just show them an example.
Say you can write C1 equal to say 5.
Yeah,
You can write C2222 equal to 10.
yes.
Okay. Both are variables only. But here if you see they are actually starting with alphabet. It is not like only, number. You can have number combined with a variable, sorry, alphabet, but you cannot have only
We
number
can
alone.
start with 2C. 2C
No,
equals 5 or something. Let's show them in a different tile, a new one.
2C.
Yeah, we'll show them that in a new tile.
Okay.
Yeah. 2C is equal to 10 or something. I think Karhan, I think you should just scroll down.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, can you run this? Just see the last one. Yeah. So I don't know who asked this question, but I guess it now you got your answer.
Harshal asks, is there any rule for using variable? Can you please explain some of the important rule? See, there is no fixed rules as in, you know, these are the most common mistakes that, students tend to do. So it's like, how do we define a variable name? So it is as simple as, you are defining a text message or you are assigning a value to something, right? So that is your variable and it cannot start with number. That is the first important rule, but you can have number along with alphabet. Okay, let us see this. CC2 underscore, or somebody asks, can we use special characters? Let me put a dollar. We can't take any of the special characters. Let me put only C and C, and even this is a special character, right? You cannot add any special characters. The only thing that you can use is, but we can't use some specific word for variable name like else. Yes. So those are like, when you're actually working on a Python directory, there are some specific names like test. Test is one common thing, or say OD45. These are some of the inbuilt commands or, inbuilt, what do you say, directories, which are present in your Python software, right? So when you try to give this as variable name, what happens is basically it gets overwritten. So it will actually take this, but by default, what happens is behind this OD45 is actually having some other, entirely different code written for it. When you define some other name for it, the previously written version gets overwritten. So that's why most of the times we try not to use, most common things like test can be one, or else, if else, somebody rightly told, else, else equal to 4, we can't use this. While equal to 4, we can't use this as variable name. For equal, for equal to 10, we can't use this as variable name because these are our inbuilt, libraries or inbuilt commands in your Python. Are you getting my point? But we can't use, why we have to use a plus sign before the name in Jishnu code? This one, nothing. We are just simply adding it. Karan, Kiran,
Yes, I'm here,
here, here,
Anan. Go ahead.
here
Yes.
we are just defining name. That's all, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some student is asking doubt saying that why are we adding this plus sign? Do you want to add anything on this?
Okay. So, can you give me access for a second?
Yes, yes.
So, can you please run this as well? Yeah, enter. Okay. So, why is this plus is what you are asking, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, without this plus, can you run this? Okay. See, the thing here is it is taking a space character and then running it, right? So, for example, um, yeah, yeah, just hold on. These will come under data types actually, but let's try to answer it as Yeah. So these essentially are the same. All right. So this plus is going to add this in the end. So for example, you can do away without the plus as well. All right, because you're already mentioning the name here, correct? So if it's a string, you're just saying it's a string here, you're adding a string data type. All right. So you can also do away without this. You can just add a comma. Comma should also work. It should work. See, it all gives you the same result. All right. Name is a variable. So variable is getting called here. So this comma plus does not matter. All right. Usually people go with a comma, but plus is not something that you would I would advise you to use. All right.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah.
So that's all from the variable part. Is this point clear, guys? So all these exercises are somewhat similar. Here you have to create a variable name called as car name and assign the value Volvo to it, which is nothing but you will say that car name equal to Volvo. Then you are indirectly saying that your variable name is car name and the value assigned to your car name is Volvo. Yes. The second exercise. Any doubt in this second exercise part? In your exercise, the second question, guys. No doubts, right? So these are all very basic example of how to get get familiar with using of your variable names. Here we have also write a program in Python that asks user to enter two numbers a and b and display their sum a plus b. So for this, either you can use input to show one's second answer in Jupyter. What is the second question? Variable name, car name, and assign the value Volvo to it. Okay, sorry. This is also one way. This is like I am taking input from the user. Whenever I'm using input as a function, right? So I get the liberty to enter any name. So basically I can enter instead of Volvo, I can enter any name, right? So this is one way where user has user has, one user, what do you say? User has complete advantage of defining anything, right? So this is useful, whenever we are dealing with huge number sets, right? Where our values are varying. Say if you don't want to vary your value, right? You can simply define one value. You can simply write car name equal to, you can define it in here. So this will give you only Volvo. But if I write it like this, so it is completely up to me what I want to enter, right? Say if I want to enter Volvo, I can enter Volvo, or if I want to enter Tata Nexon, I can define any name for the given variable name, right? Right. So that is why I try to make use of input command as much as possible so that it will give user has upper hand on what value to define or what to enter basically, right? Venkateshwar has already written a code for sum of adding two integers. Perfect, Venkateshwar. So this is like I'm going to add two numbers. So can you see we have added sum of two integers. So is everybody comfortable with how to make use of variables, guys? Yes, Jishnu Mohan, does input always take data type as string? Yes. If you want, let us see. Here, if you see, Jishnu Mohan, guys, we have got one interesting question called as, if we are using input, right? So what does it take as, whether it is by default string or how is it? So here we have used int before inputs sign, right? So which is nothing but whatever input we are defining, we want that particular data type in integer format. So that's why if you see here, we are getting it as int. So let me take the same line, and if I remove int and keep only input, let us see what are we gonna get. So this was a question asked by Jishnu Mohan. So if we are using only input and we are writing something inside, then what is the data type that we are getting? Okay, so now let me enter number, say it is 15. Okay, now if I want to find out what is the data type, just use type of A. Can you see here? It is string, right? Similarly, copy, paste, Jishnu. Can you see here? So what does it say? By default, right? Whenever you're using input as a command, right? So it will take your data type as string. Okay, so that is why if you want to, if you want to take integers, right, we can make use of like this int symbol before input. So what does this command do? It converts all your strings into integers. Everybody following this point? In print without the quotes, whether it will run? Santosh Senthil. Which one? Yes. So if I want to say print of A, yes, it will run because it is already a variable assigned to it, correct? There is one basic difference between using quotation and not using quotation. So that is why I'm explaining this. Guys, everybody follow these three lines, line number 42, 43, 44. Okay. All the three places I've added print A, print A, print A. But the only change being here there is no quotations. Here I have used single quotation. Here I have used double quotation. And in all the three cases, I'm getting different answers. So why is it so? Because A is nothing but variable, right? So all this time I was discussing about variables only, right? So whenever I'm giving simple variable name, right? So it will return me whatever value is assigned to that particular variable. Are you getting my point? Here basically what is happening? I'm defining A as Jishnu, right? So that's why when I print simple A, it will return me what is the value assigned to that particular variable. If I'm not using any quotation, what does it mean? It means that this is a variable. Is this point clear, guys? And whenever I'm using single quotation or double quotation, this particular command, it takes in the format of text, just like how you type any text command, right? Say instead of A, if I write who is the one who has this question? Santosh Sendil. Santosh, right? It will return me name Santosh. Okay. And if I type print simple Santosh, can somebody tell me what is the answer that I'm gonna get? Error. Perfect. Perfect. Why is it so? Because here, if I'm not using any quotation, what does it take? It takes as variable name, but here I have not defined Santosh as variable, right? And there is no assigned value, right? So that's why it is saying name Santosh is not defined. If I say Santosh equal to 5, okay. And now if I run print of simple Santosh, now it will run. Now guys, now can you see? So that is all about your variables. So whenever a variable is assigned any value, and if you're printing that variable name, the value associated to that particular variable will be printed. Okay. And if you are using single quotation or double quotation, what does it mean? It means that it will take it in the form of text. Okay. If I'm using single or double quotation, so what it will return me back is it will return Santosh only. Even though Santosh, I have defined it as variable, right? But if I'm using single quotation or double quotation, it will take it as text command. That's why I'm getting name Santosh. Everybody familiar with this? Yes. So that is all about variable. Just give me a minute, guys. Just a minute, I'll be back. Hello. Yes, guys. So just now we discussed about what is meant by variables, right? Now we'll come back to the next function called as input function. So this is also by default, whenever I explain about variable, there I've already explained indirectly what is input function, right? So how do we write input function? The syntax is input and you will open parenthesis and you can write anything that you want inside. So what does this input command do? Basically, input command makes the user to define any value that we want to give, right? It returns the user typed value as a string. This is the most important, right? So whatever the user is typing it, right? So that will be returned back. And how is it giving? The data type will be in the format of string. So what are the few examples? Input with prompt, input with Unicode characters. Here you can see age equal to input, enter your age. So when I press enter, what is the thing that I'm gonna get? It will ask me to define the age and I'm defining the number 25, right? And when I click on age, it will give me in the format of this. And if I type of age, with this, I can actually know whether, what is the format of this or what is the data type of this particular age. And here you can see that it is in the format of string. So this just now we discussed. So the same thing. Okay. Or you can also use this Unicode character, enter Unicode character, and you can define using your inputs. Okay. Now coming back to the data types, what are the data types in Python? We'll see one by one. So starting from numeric, dictionary, boolean, set, and sequence type. In numeric, we again have three types. One is your integer, complex number, and floats. In your sequence type, we have three: string, list, and tuple. So what are the various data types? We have scalar and non-scalar. What is meant by scalar? Scalar is nothing but integer type, float type, boolean type, or none type. What is none type? None type is a special type with a single value. The value is called as none. Okay. What are non-scalar? Non-scalar are nothing but string types, right? So totally we are having three or four, that's all. One is integer, float, boolean, none, and string. Out of this, string is your non-scalar data type, whereas the remaining all four, they belong to your scalar data type. So how do we know what is the data type associated to the variable? You can make use of the command called as type with open parenthesis and close parenthesis. Here you can see I have defined x equal to 5, and if I print type of x, so can somebody tell me what is x here? X I'm simply defining as 5, which is nothing but integers. So when I write type of x, so what does it do? It will check what is the data type x. Since it is integer, here you can see output. What is it giving? It is saying that it is an integer, right? Stringer. Yeah, who is that telling stringer? Hey, x equal to 5, simple x equal to 5. I'm not using input. Whereas for the second case, here if you see, I'm actually writing it in inverted commas, right? Single quotation. So this is nothing but string, right? So that's why when I write this in the format of what is the type of yes, it will return me string. Okay. So can somebody tell me what are the output of these comments? This is again quick exercise. Harshal, please enter the first number num2 answer equal to print addition of two numbers is printed. We cannot use this line now. First one, what is it? Integer. Perfect. Second one is string. What is this? This is important. It is in the format of true or false. Yes. Third one is boolean. Okay. So what is fourth one? One I have given it as 21, other is 21.36. No. Uh, Sneha is perfect. Faizan correct. Venkateshwar Reddy correct. So it is float. Float is nothing but it will cut off the decimal, the values after the decimal points, right? Yes, guys. So I hope everybody is comfortable with finding out what is the data type and knowing what is the data type, right? Everybody knows how to define a data type and how to find out what is the data type. Yes or no? There are total 4 formats. Either it can be integer, or it can be string, it can be boolean, or it can be in the form of float. Everybody comfortable with this? Yes. So how do we do conversion in Python? So conversion of value of one type into another. Before this only we saw one example here, right? If you remember or not, we did this example on int of, where is this? Here. So here what did we do? Whenever we are using only input command, what is the data type that it will return? By default, it returns in the format of string. But when we use int of this, what will happen? Your string is converted into integer. Yes or no? Here you can also see this. Guys, everybody comfortable with this, right? Or should I repeat again? How did we convert string to integer here? That is what I am asking. Everybody comfortable with this, or shall I repeat? Guys, somebody respond. Yes or no? Okay, we can continue. Right. Sneha, you are having any doubt in this? Yes. Parth is saying yes. Okay, fine. I believe that all of you are saying to continue. Okay, Sneha says no doubt. Cool. So how do we convert one type to another? So let us say, see, by default, we are used to this integer to float conversion in mathematics. So what does it mean? If we write it simply as integer, if we write it simply as 3, we call it as integer. If we write it as 3.0, it is treated as float, right? Whereas if you want to do some truncation, right, float of 3.6, you can write it as 3, or you can round it off to 4, right? So these are the basic conversions. So here, if you see, I'm having a float type, right, 2.5. And if I want to convert it into, okay, just give me a minute. Yeah. So here you can see I'm having a float value called as 2.5. And if I use int, right? So what is the output I'm getting? This particular float is getting converted into integer, and that integer is nothing but 2, right? Similarly, if it is 2.3, the output is 2. If it is 3.9, it is 3. And if I am using float, so float of 3 is nothing but it will return me 3.0. Correct? Guys, everybody comfortable with this? And here on the bottom slide also you can see I'm writing str of 3.14. So what I am saying is convert this particular value into string. So this is basically integer. So I can convert integer into string by using str command. And here you can see I'm getting it in terms of string, right? And if I simply write str of 26,000, basically this is integer. And if I am writing str, I'm getting it as string, right? So everybody comfortable with how to convert one data type to other data type? Yes or no? Either you can use int command, or you can use str command, or you can use float command, right? So you can use any of these commands to convert one data type into other format. So here you can see int of 73, but this 73 is in string. So I am going to convert this string into integer, and the output is nothing but 73, which is integer. Guys, everybody following with me? Any doubts? Any doubts, guys? Cool. So this is what happens when, you don't convert one data type into other data type. Manjala Shyam says, bro, when are we getting certificates? You won't get, man. You'll get it within 12 to 14 working days, but for that you will need to, complete one survey for it. That I'll be sharing it at the end of the class, not now. So only when you sit back for the entire 2 hours of duration, we'll close this around 9 o'clock, right? So only those of you who are able to sit till the last minute, right? And who are filling this particular document sheet. Can you see this? So only these people will be getting certificates. Yes. So you're getting a free certificate that you have attended this particular boot camp and you have gained skills of Python. The link of document sheet, I'll be sharing it at the end of this session. So here you can see what will happen if I don't convert one data type into other data type, or if I simply add something. So here age equal to input. How old are you? Can somebody tell what is the data type of age? What is the data type of age? String. Why? Because we are using input, and by default input returns as data type in the format of string, right? So can I add string and integer together? Can I add one string and one integer? No. So if I want to add any two things, both of them has to be in the same data type. Yes. And here, observe carefully in line number 3. Here I have written, in 5 years, your age will be age plus 5. So can somebody tell me what, if needed, wait, or I believe it's already written here. Age equal to input enter your age. Okay. Print in 5 years, your age will be age plus 5. So will it run, guys? It won't run because here you can see can only concatenate string to string. Either you can add string to string or you can add integer to integer. So what I will do is I have two methods. Either I can change my string into integer, right? Int of age plus 5. Either I can do that or I can do from here also. Int of. So I'm going to change my entire line number 1. Now it will run, right? If my current age is 24, in 5 years, I'll be 29. So what is happening here? I've changed my string into integer. So either I can write it like this or I can directly change it in the print itself. So here instead of simple age, I can directly write int of age because age is in the format of string. So when I write int of age, so it is getting converted into string. Sorry, from string to integer, right? So these are the two methods in which we can convert one data type into other data type. Guys, clear? So what is assignment statement? This is nothing but equal to. When I discussed about variables, there I have told you, right? We will be assigning some value to the variable. So how are we going to assign it? With the help of equal to sign. So what does the entire syntax looks like? So here you can see on your left hand side, you have name called as variable. On your right hand side, you have something called as expression or the value, which is being assigned to this particular variable. So how do you assign it? With the help of equal to sign. So on your right hand side, which is nothing but this one, this is nothing but your value or expression. On your left hand side, you have the variable name, and equal to is known as the assignment operator. So there are multiple ways in which you can assign one value to other value. So you can write like this also: x comma y equal to 10 comma 20, which is nothing but x equal to 10 and y equal to 20. Similarly, you can write it like this: x comma y equal to 10 comma 20. And if you write this x equal to x plus 1, what will happen? 10 plus 1 is nothing but, no, this is wrong. So here x value is 10, y value is 20. So by the end of the program, x value will be 11, y value will be 21. Okay. So that's how you use assignment operations. And what are the various arithmetic operations? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus, exponent, and floor division. So we'll see one by one. Addition, pretty straightforward, simple to use. This operator is used to add two values which are present on either side of operator. So I have two variables, x and y. I defined values for x and for y. And how do I add two numbers? I'll use a variable called as sum equal to x plus y. And if I write print of sum, what will happen? These values will get substituted and you will directly get the value for what is called as 2 plus 3, which is nothing but 5. Yes. Any doubts in this? Guys, any doubts? All of these are pretty straightforward. That's why I'm, trying to go a little bit faster here, right? Subtraction is also the very same. Instead of plus, you'll write minus. Multiplication, it is again same. You'll simply write into, right? What is most important is this one. Division is also same. I hope most of you know this. Modulus is what most of you don't know, right? So let me try to touch little bit on what is meant by modulus. So modulus is an operator which is used to find what is the remainder. Okay. So whatever remainder value you are going to get, so that value can be found out by using modulus operator. Okay. So take example of this. X equal to 8, y equal to 3. If you write 8 by 3, so what is the value you are getting? 3 2s are 6 and the remainder is 2. Correct. So that's why if you see here in the output, the first value is 2. Similarly, a equal to minus 5, b equal to 2. So what is the remainder? Minus 5 divided by 2. 2 2s are 4, which is minus 1 is the remainder. And 5 by minus 2, it is again the same. Right? Guys, everybody comfortable with this? Yes or no? Modulus operator. And you have exponent operator. What is the use of exponent operator? Here in the first line itself, I have written, this is used to raise the first value to the power of second operator. So what does it mean? So if I want to write 5 cube, right? So I can write it in terms of like this. So instead of x, I can define x equal to 2 and y equal to 3. Then my answer will be 5 cube, which is 125. And if I write x equal to 2, y equal to 3, exp equal to x, 2 times I'm writing multiplication sign and then I'm writing 5. Santosh, which part you are having doubt? So modulus operator, it is used to return It is used to find your remainder. So if you divide 8 by 3, so what is the remainder you are gonna get? 8 by 3. 3 to the 6. And what is the remainder you are having? 2. So here you can see in the output screen, the first value is 2. Similarly, if you divide minus 5 by 2, so what is the remainder that you will get? Sir, it is giving float as answer when I am using divided with 2 integers. Can you share that? Minus 5 by 2. It's not a difference, man. Minus 5, Santosh. Minus 5 divided by 2. What is 5 divided by 2? What is the value that you will get? What is the remainder? Yes, minus 1. So that is what your modulus operator is doing. Similarly, your exponent operator, if you want to write it one term in terms of, raise the second term power, then you can write it like this. So if I want to write 2 cube, right, I can write x print of 3 by 2. What is this, Venkateshwar Reddy? No, you cannot write like this. You cannot do operations inside print. Inside print, you can only write, yeah, because it will give you 1.5, right? What is 3 by 2? 1.5. Venkateshwar Reddy, are you getting my point? Yeah. Similarly, what is meant by floor division? So this will give you your result to the nearest integer. So what is meant by this? What is 5 by 2? It is 2.5. But if you use this floor operator, kindly look at the symbols that we are using. It is double slash. So whenever we are using this floor division operator, right, it will return you the nearest integer value. So 5 by 2 is nothing but 2.5. So when you use FLO, your output is 2. Just like truncating error, right? Just like how we saw before this. Truncating all the values in the float, right? So this is similar to that. Guys, yes or no? Everybody following with me, or if you are having any doubts, kindly let me know. Any doubts, guys? So this is one exercise where you can should be dynamic, where it should accept two numbers from a user. Guys, this is very important. What do I mean by this? User has to define a number for it, right? User has to define input for it. So how can you write it? You can use a equal to input, enter the value for a. Similarly, b equal to input, enter number b. So since we are doing, either you can take it is a real time. No, because as of now, no. We will be doing all these basic examples. Guys, look into this. So this is like, I'm simply making use of calculator. So if you want in terms of float, you can use float operator, or you can simply use int, right? Because since we are using input command, so it will be in terms of string, and we are going to do so many operations, right? So it's better to have it in terms of float or integer. So here I've written it as float. You can write int of input of enter number A, enter number B. Here you can see I've entered two numbers, 2 and 3, and I've written each and everything for it. How do I do addition operation? A plus B, subtraction A minus B, multiplication A into B, division A by B, floor division A double slash B, exponents A multiplication B, modulus A percentage B. And here you can see answers for each and everything is given here, right? So this is one basic example of how to get arithmetic operations done. Everybody clear with this point? Any doubts in this? What is the significance of curly brackets? So Faizan, this is one very good question. So curly braces are used to define strings or data types. So curly brackets we generally don't use very often, but here if you see, when we want to define a particular data type, we can use curly braces. Okay. Basically, it's like I'm defining the variable name itself. So how I get this different color for the program writing? It is different color. How I get this different color for the program writing? So when you do it in this one, you are getting different color only, no? Because so curly brackets are used when you want to define your variable. Here A is your variable, B is your variable, add is a variable which is having two, you know, operators given to it. So that's why wherever I'm having variable, I'm using curly braces. Now let us come back to the operators. What are the various types of operators present? And we'll see meaning of one by one. Guys, everybody following with me? Anybody having any doubts till this point? Faizan, Vikas, Pratyush, yes. Faizan has no doubts. Cool. Pratyush has no doubts, but you have raised your hand. So Jishnu Mohan, yes. Kiran, do you want to take up this doubt? Jishnu Mohan's doubt? Kiran?
Yes, hold on. Yeah, let
Yeah.
me check. Vishnu. Okay, so these are format specifiers. Okay, so these things, this is regarding your doubt on. Okay, so I'll just read out the question. All right, what does F stand for in print statement? All right, this you might have seen in your this thing, right? For in your print statement where you printed multiple things in the same line, correct? So if you observed in that line, you could also see that yeah, this is a format specifier. This is going to um, give you values. This is going to help you help Python to take values of A, B, and add. Okay, and substitute in it in instead of the values inside the curly braces. All right, this is just a syntax of Python. This is how you can efficiently, this code looks neat because it's able to get data from the upstream data, that is from the top, and it's able to substitute it in place of the character, the curly braces and the variable name. All right, I think I answered your question. If you still have doubts, I can answer. We can take this later on.
Guys, everybody clear? Anybody else having any doubts? Cool. Okay. Now we are back. We are back to F indicates float type. We are back to our logical operators. I hope everybody is aware of three basic operators: AND operation, OR operation, NOT operation, right? Basically, we call it as logical gates: AND gate, OR gate, NOR gate, NOT gate, right? So somewhat similar to that, we are having it here also. We are calling it as logical operators. What is your AND operation? We call it as logical AND. AND is nothing but it is true only if both the operands are true. Only when A is true and B is true, right? Your AND operation is called as true. Similarly, when we go to OR operation, A or B. So this is true if at least one of the operation is true. What is not? Not is simple as, inverse of whatever variable we are defining. Say if I am writing not A, which is nothing but say if A is true, then not A is nothing but false, right? So we'll see what is a flowchart for this. Yeah. So AND operation, you can see it here. Say X and Y are two variables, right? And I am saying that whenever I'm getting true, I'll write 1. And if I'm getting false, I'll write it as 0. What did I say for AND operation? AND operation is true only when both the operations are true, right? If X is true, right, I'll go here and I'll say if Y is true or not. If Y is also true, then my output is 1, which is nothing but true. So for that, I have given a simple example called as pi, and I'm giving AND operation, and I'm saying that pi greater than 1 and pi less than 3. So which of these are true? So pi is definitely greater than 1, but pi is definitely not less than 3. So here you can see pi is greater than 1. This is true, whereas this is false. So even if any one of the operation is false, right, then in your AND operation, the entire operation will go false. I'll repeat again. Your logical AND operation is true only when both your operations are true. Even if any one of the operation is false, then your AND operation will give you a result called false. Everybody clear with this?